Hello again, everyone. I know some of my viewers really enjoy the ERTL content that I upload to the channel, and I know a lot of you also enjoy seeing the customs that I've made, which over the years I've done 3 showcase videos. However, last year, all 3 of them got marked as made for kids by YouTube, which honestly pisses me off because my channel is rated for general audiences. I'm not child directed, and I will never ever be a kids channel. And what really sucks is once those videos get marked by YouTube, it's damn near impossible to get them back. But I'm hoping this video won't suffer the same fate. And what I'm going to do is show you all the customs that I've done to date, which I don't have all of them on the workbench right now. But I'll show you these customs, maybe talk a little bit about what went into building them. And I'm not going to spend too much time on one particular custom because I don't want this video to go on forever. But we'll go down here and we'll start with my Railway Series Thomas. Now this is post Thomas Comes to Breakfast because you can see it's got the straight running board on it, which was rather simple to do. Just cut the back buffer beam off of another Thomas, put it on this one, patched and painted it, and there you go. Then I've also got my Garden Party Edward, which you can see he's got the posters. See if I can get a better view on those. I hope those are coming in clear. But then I've also got my Henry Sees Red Henry, which I took some creative liberties with this. I just put a little number 3 tag on the tender because I doubt the tender would have been completed if Henry wasn't. Then I've got my Origins James, which this was from the Adventure Begins. Some people don't like the CGI face, so I might swap it out with the regular ERTL face. Then I've also got my Chocolate Covered Percy, which I was really impressed with how this one came out. Just that's chocolate brown paint, and the way I applied it looks great as well. And then also I've got my Railway Series Percy, which this one I like the high gloss finish to it, and I always put a clear varnish on these. Well, some of them. Ones that I want to have more of a matte look, I don't do that with. But yeah, I was really impressed with how the finish came out on Percy. Then I've also got my Railway Series Toby. And then also Railway Series Dawn and Douglas. Now the blue on these is beautiful. And again, you got a high gloss finish there. And with these, I did drill out the portholes on the cab. I actually did that with Percy too. Just because, well, one, I don't have to make stickers, and 2, it looks more realistic. But yeah, these 2 models are really beautiful. Then I've got my Scrap Oliver. Always wanted a Scrap Oliver, and I was really impressed with how the weathering on this turned out. And then I've got the Scrap Toad here as well, because these 2 basically go together. And again, really impressed with the weathering on this one, especially the writing. I didn't think I'd be able to pull that off, but you know, on both of them, it turned out great. Then I've also got Boko here. Now the only change I made with him is I painted the buffer beams red. For some reason, ERTL left them black, even though the prototype Boko also had red buffer beams. But I think that little change just makes a world of difference. Then I've also got my Railway Series Boko, which the first time I showed this, I didn't have the numbers on the sides, which I've got them now. Those are just water slide transfers. I use them quite a bit. Then I've got Railway Series Mavis. I really like this one because I think the face is cute. But also, I did a little bit of weathering with her. Not a lot. I just wanted her to look dusty and dirty, but still well kept by the quarry. Then I've got what I'm calling a more accurate Daisy. I was never happy with the way ERTL did Daisy. She just sat too low. So I modified a Boko chassis to fit underneath her, and I'm calling this Bullseye's Daisy because in the episode Bullseye, she did accidentally have Boko's chassis. But I think if ERTL had done this model this way, it would have looked a lot better. Granted, I would have given her the, what is it? The Bobo, the four-wheeled trucks. But also, I patched up the back here and gave her a lamp because the coupling wasn't sticking out anymore. And of course, she also has a front coupler now as well. Definitely a change that makes a world of difference in my opinion. Then I've also got Nia, which a lot of scratch building went into this model here. definitely impressed with how this one turned out. A lot of decaling to do with her as well. And it's kind of funny, a lot of people don't like Nia as a character, but they've told me that they've been really impressed with this custom. And then the same can be said for Rebecca here as well. A lot of scratch building with her and decaling, but she just looks great. And then also I've got my custom Stuart, which other than a funnel change and different nameplates, really nothing different that was done with that. More accurate smudger, proper face, proper names, number. And then I also took time, painted the footplate green to match the rest of him. Got Brenner here, which some people thought when I first made this it was Jennings. No, I do have plans to make Jennings, but in future. And then also, I believe this character is Jerry, one of the mid-Sodor engines. And that's custom that I was quite impressed with how it turned out as well. Going back here, I've got my mountain engine customs, which we have Ernest, which would be the number 2. Then we have Wilfred, which is number 3. Shane Dooney, which is number 5. Alaric, which is number 7. And Eric, which is number 8. Then there's also the red engine from the Railway series. I believe people also called him Eagle. Then I've got my scrap Stepney and also Box Hill, which does have the Box Hill name and plus a different number on it as well. Next we have Toby's brothers here, which I don't think any of them had names, but all these are just Toby's repainted into the LNER livery. You could possibly even say one of them is Toby himself. But yeah, quite happy to have those. It was another one of those deals. I had a bunch of Tobys lying around at the time, so this was a perfect use for them. Then we've also got Lady, basically as her prop is today. You can see she doesn't have the buffers anymore or the bunker. She's been painted into basically Christmas colors. I also customized the lady face for this. Quite a sad state, and it's a shame that that's how the prop is now. Then I've also got the foreign engine from the Railway series, also known as Big City Engine, I guess. This was basically David Mitten's approach, to take Henry, put smoke deflectors on it, and a different face. I don't think it turned out too bad. Then we've got the Class 52, I think it is, from the Railway series. This one in particular is Western Champion. This was one of the diesels that Stepney passed on his way to Sodor. And I basically took an ERTL approach with this because I figured, if they were going to do this character, they'd just repaint Spam Can. Then there's the Class 08. This was the one that was in Museum Piece that pushed Thomas up onto the flatbed. And then also we've got a scrapped Spam Can. I'm assuming this was basically his fate in later years. Then we've got my take on what fans call the murdering diesel from the Railway series. This was one of the diesels that was hunting down Oliver when he was escaping in, escape, I guess. But then we've also got another Class 08. Now, this was the one that was also hunting Oliver in Escape, and you saw this next to the signal box. Then we've also got Frankie, which I was really impressed with how Frankie turned out. A lot of custom work with this piece. And probably the only thing I'm disappointed about with this is the horn. I should have made the horn look more like it was cast into the die cast instead of separately fitted, because, ERTL would not have, just done something like that. But I do want to make Hurricane at some point. I've just got to figure out what all I need to make him and try to come up with a build plan. Then there's also the scrapped engine here. Now, this was based off of the one in Bluebells of England. Basically just took an E2 locomotive and, painted it up like this. It's not perfect, but, it works, I guess. Going over here, we have our last couple engine characters, but this is Victoria. She was a fan-made character I did. Basically, she's a USIRA 060 switcher for the Pennsylvania Railroad. I went ahead and made custom buffer beams for her front and tender, also custom the face, and then made decals for her as well. I'm hoping all that's showing up. But then also, this is my Liz custom, which I was quite impressed with this one, the way it turned out, also the finish on it. And just like the Percy and Dawn and Douglas and such, I went ahead and drilled out the cab portholes on this. Now we're moving into rolling stock. I've got a Toad here, which all I've done with this is I just painted the buffer beams black because for some reason ERTL made them red. Then we've got, I think these are the CCT van. I've got 2 of them. I think I'm meant to have 3, and then I also wanted to do a 4-wheel variant. Then we've got the Works Unit coaches, which I've got one here in green, and I've got another one in orange. And I was really impressed with how those turned out. I also added the little details, little steps or what have you underneath. Also got just a normal Great Western brake van here. Basically took a Toad, removed the face, patched up the end, and gave it a custom paint job. I really like how that one looks. Then we've got the teak coaches. Now I've only got 2 here, but I'm meant to have 3. I've got the stuff to make a 3rd one, just haven't got around to it yet. Then we've got Victoria and Helena. And I'll bring up Helena here so you can see how she looks as well. Possibly not accurate to what they were in the Railway series, but you know, I'm okay with it. You know, I kind of take an ERTL approach with these. You know, try to make them look like something ERTL would have done. Would like to make an Albert for these at some point. Also got the narrow gauge coaches, got the blue ones and the red ones, and these are made using the Nakiyoshi coaches. And I just went ahead and changed the couplers out, made some custom ERTL ones to put on these. And I can't remember the user. I saw one person, they used old coaches to make their narrow gauge coaches, just repainted them. Which, I mean, it worked, but I wanted something that looked a little bit better. Then we have this truck here, which is actually supposed to be Season 5 Scruffy, but I refer to this as the buried truck, the one you saw in Put Upon Percy. Then we've got the silver tankers. I've got 3 here with 4 wheels, but then I've also got these ones which have 6 wheels, and these were custom that I did just using axles from a parts tanker I had. And quite like those. Then I've got 7 of these, what I'm calling oil tankers. They're just black tankers. I got 7 of them. You saw these in the episode, I think, No Joke for James. Then I've got a star tanker. This is supposed to be sort of a tribute to Tugs. It's got the star lettering on it. Then I've got my scrap tankers. I've got 3 of them. Just basically tankers. You saw them quite a bit in, I think, the episode Old Slow Coach. And then I've just thrown this one in here, but this is the second tender for my Flying Scotsman. All it is just a tender that was cut off of another Flying Scotsman, patched up at the front, added a buffer beam and a coupler to it. So not really anything too special about it. But yeah, that's all the customs so far. I'm going to move these out of the way and put the remaining ones on the workbench. So these are the last of the customs that I have to show. And we've got the Sodor Taxi, however this one is black instead of blue. Then we've got Trevor, and the only thing I did with him is I painted the wheels black like they're supposed to be. Then we've got Henry's 6 tenders, which some of them are blank, and then some of them I decaled as northeastern tenders. And I painted the coal to look like boiler sludge. But these, there was quite a bit of work into patching up the front of them and then also adding the couplers to them. Then we've got a couple scrapped A1 locomotives, which these were made out of some broken Gordons I had. Then we've got a couple scrapped Caledonian locomotives, which these were made from broken Dawn and Douglases I had. These ones as well, I drilled out the portholes on the cab. A couple scrapped E2s made from broken Thomases. Quite like this one here where I cut the back of the cab off and also part of the boiler. And then we've got a scrapped GWR City class, which was made from a city of Truro. And funny enough, that's where one of these tenders came from. But then we've also got a scrapped K2, which was made from a broken Edward. And then this one here is what I call the Dead Train. I made it from, someone featured this in their train series. I can't remember the user, but that's basically what I was going for with this one. And it was made from just parts I had laying in my parts box. And that is all the customs that I've done as of now. And as you can probably imagine, a lot of work has gone into making these, and I try to put the effort into them to make them look as if they were made by ERTL today, if they were still, doing Thomas and Friends. But I do want to make some more customs. I've actually got some on the bench right now, but just haven't got very far with them. In fact, my ambition to do ERTL customs has kind of diminished over the last year. That's not to say that I'm giving up on making these. I just need to wait for the mojo to come back, and I do want to get started on them again. But anyways, I think that is going to be it for this video. You guys can feel free to let me know your thoughts on these customs in the comments down below. Also, let me know which one of these is your favorite. And as for me, if I were to pick one that I like the most, well, I'd honestly have to say the Scottish Twins, because I was really impressed with the paintwork on these, and I think the paintwork and the finish on them is beautiful. Although I probably put a little bit more effort into these than ERTL would have, because certain details ERTL just never painted. But like I said, that's going to be it for now. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will hopefully have some more ERTL content coming up here in the future.